You ever notice that right before things finally start working out, right before you feel like you're on the edge of the breakthrough you've been manifesting for months, life suddenly gets harder? I mean, genuinely, unequivocally harder. You lose a key opportunity, a potential client ghosts you, your car breaks down, you have a massive fight with your partner, or maybe your bank account balance looks suspiciously low right after you affirmed that you are an embodiment of divine wealth. Chaos shows up everywhere. It feels like the universe is actively working against you, slamming the door right in your face as you reach for the handle of your desired reality. The old manifestation gurus would tell you this is a sign you need to let go or raise your vibration. But what if I told you that this entire phase, this moment where everything seems to be falling apart, is actually the most concrete, undeniable confirmation that your manifestation is imminent? What if this entire experience is simply the universe testing if you are truly, irrevocably ready to step into the frequency of the future you've claimed?
Hey guys, it's Mohamed. Welcome back to Galaxy Gestalt, where we go deep into how your inner world shapes your outer world, and where we treat reality not as a static place you endure, but as a fluid medium you command. Today, we're talking about something almost nobody explains, something that trips up 99% of people on their manifestation journey, the hidden and often brutal reality check phase that happens right before your manifestation clicks into place, the moment of deep destabilization that is actually a necessary prerequisite for the major rewards you seek. You have probably experienced this countless times without a name for it. You decide to get healthy, you feel great for 3 days, and then bam, you get a sudden flu or a debilitating muscle strain. You decide to commit to a new, incredible relationship, and suddenly all your deepest insecurities and fears from old relationships bubble up to the surface with shocking intensity. It feels like self-sabotage, but I promise you it's not. It's a mechanism. And once you understand this mechanism, this hidden phase, you stop panicking when life looks like it's falling apart, and you'll finally know how to ride the wave straight through the chaos and into your desired reality.
But before we dive into the deep physics of what's actually happening here, before we turn that chaos into a signal you can rely on, if you haven't yet, grab my free ebook, The Magic of Affirmations. It's not just a list of things to say, it'll show you how to use affirmations the right way to align your subconscious with abundance. The proper technique to actually convince your deep inner world that the new reality is already here. Understanding this stabilization technique is crucial for passing the reality check we're discussing today. The link's in the description below, it's totally free, and it's the perfect companion to this lesson. Now, let's talk about the bedrock principle of reality as we teach it here at Galaxy Gestalt. Reality reflects stability. This is the absolute key to understanding the check. Your current reality, whatever it is right now, is not a punishment or a reward. It is simply the materialized result of the most stable, most dominant set of assumptions and beliefs you have held for a sustained period of time. Think of it as a frequency being played through a speaker. When you start manifesting, when you begin the process of deliberate creation, you are essentially changing the frequency. You're consciously deciding to tune into the wealth station when you were previously on the scarcity station. Here's the thing. You can't just overlay a powerful new frequency on top of an old, dominant one and expect the outcome to instantly materialize perfectly. If you try to tune a radio from a frequency of 92.1 to 107.5, there's always a moment of static and crackle in between, isn't there? That transition isn't the radio breaking. It's the necessary space where the old signal loses its grip and the new signal hasn't yet solidified its hold. That transitional static, my friends, is exactly what the reality check phase feels like in your life. Before a new frequency, a new identity, or a new stable reality can solidify, the old one must collapse. This collapse from the perspective of the ego feels like chaos. You see the external world, the one that was built on the foundation of your old scarcity-based or limited beliefs, begin to crumble and dissolve. That opportunity you lost, it was anchored to the old lack of confidence frequency you were operating on. The unexpected bill that hit your account, it was the final desperate echo of the never enough assumption that was dominant for so long. The relationship drama, it was the last toxic residue of your old fear of abandonment bubbling up to be cleansed.
This collapse is necessary because the universe abhors a vacuum, but it also abhors contradictions. You cannot build a new mansion of wealth on a foundation of crumbling, leaky assumptions about poverty. You cannot enter a divine, loving partnership while clinging, even subconsciously, to the deeply rooted trauma of past betrayals. The reality check is the moment the universe, which is simply the mirror of your subconscious, forces the hand of the old identity to let go. And yes, letting go of a deeply held identity, even a painful one, often feels like a violent uprooting because, ironically, the old identity was stable. You knew how to operate there. Now you're in the void, and the ego screams, "We are failing. Go back to what was comfortable." This brings us to the core mechanism of the check. The reality checks are not external punishments. They are internal reflections of doubt. They are the universe giving your subconscious a final opportunity to verify if your new identity is genuine. Think of it like this. You spend weeks affirming, visualizing, and living in the end of having $100,000 in your account. Your conscious mind is fully on board. Your visualizations are crystal clear. You feel the wish fulfilled. But deep in your subconscious, there's a persistent little voice that says, "Yeah, but remember how money always disappears on you? Remember that time you lost $500? Are you sure you can hold on to this?"
The moment you affirm wealth, the universe, operating as the perfect reflection of your total state, will throw a test at you designed to activate that single remaining sliver of doubt. You affirm wealth. Suddenly, you get hit with 3 unexpected bills totaling $2,000. It's not a contradiction. It's an echo. It is the universe saying, "Okay, Mohamed, you claim $100,000. Here is $2,000 worth of chaos. Do you react to this $2,000 loss from the place of the $100,000 owner or from the place of the old panicking scarcity-minded self? If you panic, if you start worrying, if you blame the universe, if you abandon your affirmations and start stressing about where the money will come from, you have just failed the test. You have demonstrated to your subconscious that the old assumption of lack is still the dominant, more stable operating system. The new frequency, the $100,000 reality, retracts because its foundation, your unwavering belief, was found to be unstable. You essentially told the universe, "Wait, never mind, I'm not ready for that stability because this little challenge still overwhelms me."
However, if those bills show up and you look at them and smile, and you say, "This is fascinating. This is just a piece of paper." This is the last bit of the old frequency flushing out. And you pay the bills with a calm assurance, knowing that the $100,000 reality is still coming, simply because you are it. That is the key shift. That is when you respond as the new version of yourself. That act of responding, not reacting, is what stabilizes the new frequency. It locks it in. It sends a clear, non-contradictory signal to the universe. I see the old chaos, and I am not moved. My identity is solid. I am the one who has $100,000, and $2,000 is simply a momentary blip that I handle with ease. In that moment, the universe is no longer testing you, it is confirming you. You have integrated the manifested identity into the face of a challenge. And now, reality has no choice but to shift to match the stability of your internal state.
The core of this practice is emotional mastery. This is the real manifestation skill, far beyond knowing which essential oil to diffuse or what color candle to light. Staying calm, cool, and assured during the check is what separates the casual attractor from the deliberate creator. It requires you to operate on faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You have to believe in the reality you have chosen, even when all current empirical evidence is screaming the opposite. You must hold the vision of the operating system running smoothly even when the screen is black and the computer is rebooting. Think of it like that computer analogy. You are updating your operating system from Windows 98, your old reality of lack, limitation, or confusion, to Windows 11, your desired reality of abundance, clarity, and success. You click Install Update. The computer must process, download, integrate, and then, inevitably, it must reboot. During that reboot, the screen goes black. The process stops. All functionality ceases. If you panic during that black screen and yank the power cord, you crash the entire system. You might have to start the update process, the manifestation process, all over again. Or worse, you brick the system entirely.
The reality check is the black screen. It is the necessary moment of apparent failure before the full functionality of the new OS can be realized. It is essential. It is integral. It is the sign that the old architecture is being dismantled in the background. The key is to sit in front of that black screen not with fear, but with patient knowing. You do not doubt the update. You simply wait for the new reality to load. This is why the check always seems to hit you on your most vulnerable, weakest point. It's designed to be surgically precise. If your deepest assumption is that men always leave, the reality check will be a sudden, cold silence from a partner right when things were getting serious. If your deepest assumption is that you are not smart enough to handle a big promotion, the reality check will be a baffling and complex project assigned to you right after you land the job. It's always an echo of your internal instability being played out externally.
Reality is not testing you to fail. It is mirroring you to confirm you are ready for the next level. You are a frequency, and the universe is simply making sure that the new frequency you are broadcasting is stable and unshakable. Once you stop seeing the chaos as punishment and start seeing it as confirmation, as the final sign that the old reality is dissolving and the new one is loading, your power over your circumstances will become absolute. You will thank the universe for the unexpected bills, for the lost opportunities, and for the moments of emotional chaos, because you will know, deep down, that you are just a few breaths away from stepping into the brand new, fully integrated, and utterly magnificent operating system of your greatest desire. Embrace the chaos, for it is the sound of your old reality collapsing into your command.
And if you want to strengthen your mindset through this phase, if you want to ensure that your subconscious identity is so locked in that when the reality check hits, you simply smile and wait for the new OS to load, download the magic of affirmations below. It will help you lock in that new identity until reality has no choice but to follow. It's the tool you need to confidently ride that wave of chaos straight into your reward. Thanks for watching, folks. More deep dives like this are coming soon, because here at Galaxy Gestalt, we're not here to just talk about the surface-level attraction, we're here to master the deep, hidden mechanisms of reality. Whether you like, comment, or subscribe, that's up to you. Just remember, we're not here to survive reality, we're here to command it. And this was just the beginning.